the best workout program to maximize muscle growth. Now, when I started working out, I was doing a push-pull leg split, which is basically doing the push muscles and then the pull muscles, then the leg muscles on a 3-day split. So I was doing it and it was working like pretty well, and I was building a lot of muscle. This is like the first 6 months of training until I hit that 6-month period. After 6 months of doing that push-pull legs routine, because I was doing it 6 days a week, insane, doing it so much, and it was so stupid, but I just didn't build any muscle. I couldn't build any more muscle. I just felt like I was plateauing. And I always felt like I was tired and I was moody, and I was actually, not only was I not building muscle, I think I was losing muscle. I was losing strength. I couldn't progressively overload, and I was taking every single set to failure, and it was so stupid. So what did I do? I kept researching. I looked at every single video about bodybuilding, and I just became obsessed with building muscle. I became obsessed with it. I looked at every single exercise, every workout split, training to failure, rest time, rep ranges, all these things. And I just kept looking at these things, and I tried every single workout split. I tried push-pull legs, I tried upper-lower, I tried bro split. And honestly, what I saw the most results with, the best ever muscle I have ever built in my life, was from training full body twice a week. This is literally the best workout program I've ever done, and it's the one I'm currently doing, and it's literally amazing. It's perfect, and I will explain to you why it's perfect. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do this and this is going to be everyone should do this. No, but I'm telling you from experience and from every single natural bodybuilder. You understand what I'm saying? But every single natural bodybuilder trains something like this, or actually like this, which is full body training, because it works and it's perfect, and I will tell you why it is perfect. Now, the 3 main things that you need to have a very, very, very effective workout program, it's basically 3 things, and these are the most important things. These will build the maximum muscle. First one is intensity, basically how hard you train, and progressive overload, which is can you increase the weight every single week or every single workout, and the last one is recovery. So intensity, progressive overload, and recovery. Now, first, let's start with intensity. Intensity is the primary driver of muscle growth. This is not my opinion, this is pure facts, and this is what science have said for hundreds of years. And I'll give you a good example. You could go into the gym and you could do 100 sets, but those sets you will do them with the pink dumbbells, and you could do 30, 100 reps with those very light 2 kg dumbbells, and you'll do a tremendous amount of volume, a very, very high amount of volume, and you'll get a huge pump. You'll be actually very sore, but you won't build any muscle from that. Whereas, or you could do one set, just one stimulation set with a lot of weight, with heavy weight, and you take that to muscular failure, and that will send the perfect stimulus, the strongest stimulus to maximize muscle growth. This is why intensity is key. Now, if you want to know the science behind it, basically your muscles have things called motor units. These are what make your muscles contract. These are what control your muscles. The more, basically the more you train to failure, this is 0 and this is 100. These are the motor units in your muscles. And as you can see, the closer you get to failure, the bigger the motor units and the more motor units you recruit when you get to 100% intensity, which is you can't perform another rep in good form no matter what. So training to failure is the primary driver of muscle growth. I don't care what anyone says, because I'm tired of all this BS that volume is the driver of muscle growth. It is not. It is not, and I fell into this problem so much. If you do very high volume, push-pull legs, 20 sets a week, 3 times, training every muscle 3 times per week, it won't build muscle. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, I'm saving you literally years of time waste. Like, I'll be honest with you. I say that I've been working out for 3 years, but I've actually been working out for 2 years. The second year, I was training with the push-pull leg split and also training to failure, and that made me overtrain, so I couldn't build any muscle in that year. I wasted a whole year. I'll actually make a video about this. Why I couldn't build muscle for a whole year is because of I followed these science-based like fitness influencers that always say volume is key, volume is key. It is not. And what I love about full body training is that it maximizes intensity. Because when you do a full body workout, just like this, you do one movement for legs, just one exercise for shoulders, one exercise for back, one for chest, and then basically like biceps and triceps, which is arms. Legs, shoulders, back, chest, biceps and triceps. And with this, you minimize the junk volume, you minimize the extra volume that is useless, that you don't need at all, that won't build any muscle, and you do just 1 to 2 sets per exercise per muscle to failure, and that will send the maximum stimulus, the highest possible stimulus to the muscle, and therefore promote maximum muscle growth, because you're recruiting all the motor units, the biggest motor units and every single motor units from smallest to biggest, by of course training to failure. And you'll generally do 1 to 2 sets per exercise. And please bro, don't do more than 2 sets. More than 2 sets will make you overtrain. I'm telling you bro. You could honestly do 1 set, and if you do like an intensity technique like a drop set or a superset or a rest pause set, that will probably give you the maximum stimulus that you... Now, the second thing I love about full body training is progressive overload. Progressive overload, like when we said intensity is the primary driver of muscle growth, progressive overload is basically the fastest way to gain muscle possible. It's the single fastest way to gain muscle, period. Like if you don't know what progressive overload means, it basically means every time you go to the gym, you do something more, or you increase the weight, or you increase the reps. So basically, progressive overload is slow increments that add up over time. This is basically progressive overload. And it just makes sense. Like, strength and muscle are directly correlated. If you are strong, you will be muscular. It's you can't go any way around it. If you are strong in a certain exercise, you will build muscle. If you can do pull-ups with like 20 kgs, you will have a very big back. You'll have a wide ass back. If you can probably like overhead press like 100 kgs or 80 kgs, you will have massive shoulders. If you can like do like dumbbell press with like 30 or 35 kilograms, you'll have like a massive chest. If you are strong, you will be muscular. And I've said this a million times, but full body maximizes this as well as intensity. When you train full body 2 or 3 times per week, you basically maximize progressive overload, because you're progressively overloading the entire body, if that makes sense. Like for example, when you do like a push-pull legs, when you do a push day and then you do a pull day and then you do a leg day, you have to wait the next week to increase the weight. See what I mean? And of course some people will say, well, I can do it 6 days a week. Fine, but that will burn you out. That will burn you the hell out. And you will get the same or even better results training full body 2 or 3 times per week. So full body maximizes progressive overload because you're training the entire body and you're progressively overloading the entire body, and it makes progressive overload simple by doing just one exercise per muscle. So you're progressively overloading on that one exercise. You don't have to do a million exercises and progressively overload on a million of them. Just do one exercise and progressively overload on it. And that is how you build muscle, basically. So that's the second thing I love about full body. Now, the third factor, which I love about full body and why it is the best program for me. Now, the third thing that I freaking love about full body, and it's probably like the biggest reason I switched to full body training, is recovery. This is the biggest thing for me. It's a really, really big thing for me. Like my body, it takes a while to recover. Like I take a lot of time to recover. I don't know why. I take way more to recover than the average person. I don't know why. That's just how I am. But this was key for me, because when I do full body, I literally got like the best recovery I've ever had in my life was when I did full body twice per week. It's the best recovery you'll ever have in your life. Because when you do full body, there is zero overlapping. I got this from Alex Leonidas and it's completely true. For example, when you do a push-pull leg split, if you do a push workout, like you train your chest and then your triceps and then your shoulders, of course those are the muscles that will fatigue. But when you go tomorrow and then you do your pull workout, the push workout, not only did it fatigue your push muscles, it fatigued your entire body, not only your push muscles. It fatigued your pull muscles as well, to a lesser degree of course, and your legs to a way lesser degree because you're not using your legs at all. But it fatigued your entire system. Like, and for example, I'll give you a good example. The tricep, like if you ever did like rows or pull-ups, you'll actually feel a bit of your triceps in the back exercise, because your tricep, the long head of your tricep, is attached to the shoulder joint. So when you do a back movement, you're actually indirectly working the tricep or the long head of the tricep. So when you do a push session, then a pull session, you're already fatigued. Like you're already fatigued to train. So there is overlapping there. You can't train when there is overlapping. Like I've always had this problem. Like when I trained push-pull legs like 6 days per week, I always had this problem. I used to always do like a push day, And then when I had to do the pull day, I would be freaking exhausted. Like I would be so fatigued and so tired. I wouldn't perform my sets right. I wouldn't train to failure, and that would just ruin my whole workout because the recovery was bad. But when you do full body, the opposite happens. The entire body is recovering together, and when you do full body, for example, twice per week, you have 5 days of rest. You take 3 days of rest between each workout. So not only do you get zero overlapping, but you get the maximum recovery that you can get. It is amazing. Like if you have bad recovery like me, like you can't, even though you sleep well and you eat enough, but you just can't recover, full body twice per week is the go-to for you. I'm telling you, it is the go-to. Like these are the three reasons for me, and I'm gonna be honest with you. From my experience, every single jacked guy I've ever seen, for example, Alex Hormozi, Alex Leonidas, every single bodybuilder until the 1970s, like before they were taking steroids, in the bronze era and the silver era, when they were training like natural, like Greek god physiques, but natural, all these guys were training with full body because it freaking works. It maximizes muscle growth better than any split. And what I've realized, and this is also, I've realized this from Alex Leonidas, when you do full body twice per week, it's the same as doing upper lower 4 times per week. When you train full body twice per week, you're training your legs twice per week and your upper body twice per week. The same as doing upper body 4 times per week, but you're doing 50% less workouts. You're giving your body more time to recover, and you're sending the maximum stimulus that you can. And someone might say, oh, but if you're training upper lower, you're giving more volume, so that must be better. No, volume is just a metric. It has no correlation between muscle growth at all. Volume has no correlation between muscle growth. There are actually so many studies that compare 3 sets to failure and 1 set to failure, and there is no difference. There is no difference. Of course, when you're training like crap, when you're doing like 1 set with RIR, which is basically like useless, when you're doing like reps in reserve, which are basically like useless, you don't even need to do reps in reserve, like just go to failure. Of course 3 sets are better because you're not going to failure. But when you go to failure, 1 set is the exact same as 3 sets from the research. So this is the golden thing about full body. You get premium recovery, like you get the best recovery ever, because the entire body recovers together, and you get 5 days of rest in the week, and you send the maximum stimulus possible, so you build the maximum amount of muscle possible. If you don't know, bro, like there are only 2 metrics or 2 things that you need to look at if you're not building muscle. Like these are the only things you need. It's the training itself, of course, like how hard are you training, are you progressively overloading or not, and recovery. These are the 2 main things. Like if you're not building muscle, it's because of one of these 2. Either you're training or you're not recovering enough. And with full body, you get both. You train full body twice per week, which maximizes intensity and maximizes progressive overload. And at the same time, you're getting 5 days of rest. 5 days of rest, that's amazing recovery. And at the same time, while that, you're training the entire body, so there is zero overlap, 0. It's literally perfect. Like this is literally, trust me, bro, I've tried every single like split workout program, like every single exercise. This is the best. Full body twice per week. I'm not forcing you to do this. This worked for me the best, and so many people other than me, Polarity Fitness, Alex Leonidas, Alex Hormozi, every bronze era bodybuilder, silver era bodybuilder, John Grimek, Steve Reeves, the GOAT of bodybuilding, trained with full body. because it is the best. It's the best you can ever do. So I'm literally saving you years of wasted progress with this video. Work out with full body 2 to 3 times per week, and you will see the best gains of your life. I'm telling you, because you will get the best stimulus, the best stimulus, which will maximize muscle growth, and the best recovery. You're getting 4 to 5 days of recovery. That is plenty, and that will also maximize muscle growth. Now, I will say the only con to this, but it will go away by time, is the workout itself is pretty hard. It is very hard because you're training the entire body, like you're doing legs and chest and back and shoulders and arms, which can be very fatiguing. But there are solutions to this. The first thing is, of course, when you're doing lower sets, this will be not as hard because you're doing lower sets. You're doing 1 to 2 sets like I just described, and you're doing them to failure. So that will make the workout like 45 minutes to an hour, and it won't be as fatiguing like you're doing like 5 sets of 10 basically. Like doing 1 to 2 sets will make this very easy. And also, I've learned this also from Alex Leonidas. I love Alex Leonidas, by the way. But when you train for like this full body more than 2 weeks, you basically, your body just adapts to it. You get used to it, and it just becomes fun for you. Like it just becomes easy for you, and it doesn't feel as hard for you anymore. It's not hard for you at all when you train with this program for 2 weeks. Most of the guys who are saying like full body twice per week is so fatiguing and it's so hard because you're training the entire body. They're right, but they haven't done it for enough time. Like if you do it one time, of course it will be very fatiguing. But if you do it consistently for just 2 weeks, it will get way easier. Trust me, bro. This is the best split I've ever done in my life. This is the best workout program I've ever done in my life, and it just works. Okay, and I'll give you bonus, but I'll tell you like the best exercise for each muscle that's worked with me. Now I'm gonna start with shoulders. Shoulders, the best exercise for shoulders are shoulder presses and lateral raises. Basically, shoulder presses, overhead standing shoulder presses are the best by far. Best exercise for backs, pull-ups. Pull-ups are the number 1 back exercise, no doubt. The best exercise for back is pull-ups, and if you can add weights, even better. What else? Chest incline dumbbell press is best. For the biceps, barbell curls. For tricep, skull crushers. For legs, I do 2 movements, and they're kind of complicated, but Zercher squats for the quads and the glutes are very, very good. And good mornings, instead of Romanian deadlifts, good mornings are very, very good for hamstrings and glutes as well, and also the lumbar spine. And also another like huge benefit I've experienced with full body is just it gives you so much time to work on the important things. Like fitness, of course, is a very, very, very important thing in your life, but it shouldn't be all your life. You should be working out 2 to 3 times a week, and the rest of the time, like working on the rest of the things on self-improvement. Like I'm a person who is on self-improvement. On my rest days, I could do some yoga, do some boxing, I could work on my YouTube videos just like today. I could read, I could meditate, I could journal, I could do so many things. But if I have to work out 2 to 3 hours every single day, push-pull legs, doing very high volume that is useless, I will have no time to improve myself. You know, and that's the main goal. That's the main goal, is improving yourself. Fitness is just a part of self-improvement. Of course, it is. I'd argue it's the most important part of self-improvement, but it is just a part of self-improvement. It's not all self-improvement. So just the rest days, they give you so much more time to do what you want to do. And actually, if you want, like if you have a lagging body part, for example arms, like if you just can't grow your arms, you could do full body rest, arm day, you could do an arm day and then rest and then full body again. So you have more time to train your lagging body parts, which you can never do with upper body or push-pull legs. So that's another benefit. Bro, honestly, in my opinion, like I've been training for 3 years. I've done every single split. I've done high intensity. I've done high volume. I've researched all the splits. I've looked at everything, rep ranges, set duration, everything. The best workout program or split, full body twice per week, maximizing the stimulus and maximizing recovery. And as always, bro, I love you and I'm rooting for you. Please take care.